more bars than any other business, by far. So when loyalties shift...
So when we stopped going there, it's like, what? Then he would go to the other bars to try and pick fights with us.
And factions bicker.
Went in there on Christmas, and Tommy says, "Get out."
Sure, that'll shake a town a bit. But that don't make a news story.
Him and one of the other people that had an ongoing battle, they would always, every time they would drink, they would fight.
Instead of taking their barroom brawls outside, folks,
I think that was the first one,
took it to the web.
And that's where all this anti-cowpie page came from.
That's right, an anti-cowpie, their nickname for a local bar manager, Facebook page. And when the law got involved...
It's not right. This is America.
Well, that's when it became a news story.
We have freedom of speech. There are people dying every day for that.
This whole thing started when someone died.
He had the biggest heart, probably the biggest hearted person I ever met, and he'd give you a shirt off his back.
Andy Fogarty ran a bar in his own name and ran it,
You know, it just small town atmosphere in that bar.
in a way that made everyone feel welcome.
And everybody knew everybody.
From kids to the karaoke crowd. But when he was 37, he fell from a horse.
And had a pelvic injury. And died on the surgery table from complications of his heart, I believe. It was a big shock. It seemed like just a regular horse injury that went bad. Nobody believed it.
People grieved and waited to see what would happen with the bar.
Nobody wanted it to change.
But you can't stop change. A local woman bought Andy's. Her boyfriend, Brian Mayrand, tended bar.
I've been here 20 years. I'm telling you. I never had a problem.
They call him
And
Cowboy.
we probably would have given them a chance.
It's not the same because nothing's free here.
And he's just obnoxious.
I tightened the ship up.
You feel like you're in prison.
Well, anyway, I kicked out the riffraff.
People Mayrand fired crossed the street to work. There was a lot of name-calling. Forget trying to figure out who started it. Just know it kept getting hotter.
I'm getting harassed constantly.
Until
Tempers are now to another level.
somebody got hurt.
They start antagonizing each other and calling each other out.
Turned around and suckered me, did me a fireman's throw.
Cowboy's on the ground. And there's medical people around him. And
No charges. Mayrand didn't even file a police report until, he says...
I did until the harassment started, then I started getting worried. What's next?
What's next was
everybody decided that they just needed a place to vent.
a Facebook page.
Then all of a sudden someone told me about Facebook because I don't go on the computer.
Okay, what did they tell you
What did they tell me? And what,
about Facebook? What did you hear? What did you hear about the Facebook?
Anti-cowpie.
Now they call him Cowpie instead of Cowboy, make fun of his appearance. This goof has insulted us for years, one post reads.
So it's not meant to just single him out. It's just meant for us to vent.
Well, it is. It does single him out. Well, it clearly singles him out.
Well, that wasn't meant as that. It's meant just to vent about him.
Much of it we can't broadcast.
It hurt my feelings. They were my friends. They basically trashed me.
I have attached such a resolution.
Just before Christmas, Mayrand called Belle Plains interim police chief, actually the chief of Jordan, Bob Malls. He wrote this report listing various grievances, including the Facebook page.
What did the chief say he would do about the Facebook page?
He'll take care of it.
And with that, Malls entered the Facebook fray. With the Jordan PD logo as his icon, he wrote, "This thing has gone too far. Before someone goes to jail or civil suits are filed, I suggest you all examine your behavior and start acting like adults."
All of a sudden, we've just got him on there telling us we're a bunch of babies and childish.
And if he'd left it there, folks who'd been on the site might have let it go. But the chief went on, "You can do the right thing and end it now, or we can end it down the road. Make no mistake, it will end." Then the chief wrote that officers had been given the names of people who'd posted on the site and had been instructed to aggressively enforce any and all harassment, including written and electronic, on both sides.
You know, but all of us immediately were scared to death. We didn't go uptown.
I'm scared to go into that town.
That had Facebook contributors feeling intimidated.
Actually, to be honest with you, I was scared that I was going to have Officer Malls in my front yard.
Whether their comments had been questionable or not.
I have not been rude. No swearing, no nothing.
And that set off a First Amendment debate.
In my opinion, those people they're entitled to their opinion if that's what they think of them.
Freedom of speech, the chief posted, does not include the right to frighten, threaten, or intimidate. Okay, so they'll admit there were a few questionable entries, but say the chief should have dealt with those individually rather than try to silence the whole discourse, to use the term loosely.
Does that sound like how America is supposed to work?
No. Not to me.
But hate breeds violence, the chief said in a written statement to Fox 9 News. To simmer things down, he had to reach out to a lot of people at once. Quote, "My sole intent was to keep things from escalating." The Facebook friends also complain the whole deal's one-sided. Like the time Marie called police.
He will not leave, and we would like someone to come up to the bar.
When she says Mayrand was harassing her at the bar where she was working.
Is that him yelling in the background? This is Cowboy yelling in the background.
Police came and told Mayrand the childish behavior between all of them had to stop, and then walked him across the street.
I told him I felt threatened, but they let him go back across the street into his bar. Now, how fair is that?
Do you think the police department's taking your side?
No, I think he's looking at both sides, but basically understanding that there's 50 against 1. And I feel like the little boy that's being picked on in school.
The page got quiet right after the law got involved.
Do you think it's died down?
No. Why are you here? If it's died down, then you wouldn't be here.
Sure enough, things heated up again. Mayrand has asked the judge to order one guy to take all his posts off the page. The judge is considering it. And Mayrand's complained to police that a recent post about his background isn't true. And that's being investigated.
They get on the computer hacking away, and they just get lost in it.
It's mean, but it's true.
The woman who started the Facebook page says she's had to do some censoring of her own. In order to keep people out of trouble with the chief, she's taken down some posts that might be viewed as harassing. I'm Trish Van Pilsum for Fox 9 News.